Good evening, Rope Breakers. Welcome to a special edition of React for Survivor Series. We do these every single month for every single pay-per-view. We're here. It was a big night tonight on the WWE Network. It was free. Big show, big show. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to get to all of it here on the show tonight. My special guest with me here on the panel tonight is Raph from WWE Memes. They've been big supporters of Rope Break from the beginning. So, Raph, how are you doing tonight?
I don't know. I mean, WWE got pulled a payoff out their ass at the last minute.
Definitely. The WWE did a good job tonight, trying to keep those new subscribers locked in for the next few months. With their new plan. Matt will be joining us a little later on in the show, but we're gonna jump right into it now because, like I said, there is a lot to talk about. There's a lot to cover. A lot happened tonight. So, the show, it kind of started on the pre-show. There was the quick match between Fandango, Justin Gabriel. Nobody cares about that. I mean, come on, it's
I mean,
Fandango.
Fandango wasn't all that, but they somehow managed to make him more boring. I didn't think it was
Absolutely.
possible.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and it confused me because he's got the new theme. I don't know what's going on now. I don't know if he's trying to be like a salsa dancer. I don't know what the issue is here with him
I don't
now.
know.
But again,
Like
I don't know.
they just gave him Rosa so because PSA's guy has a boner for Rosa.
Yeah, he absolutely does. That's the only reason she still has a job in the WWE.
Yep. That's the only reason why she's on Total Divas, because Total Divas saved jobs for a lot of other divas. Cameron.
Definitely. So the pre-show comes to a close, and Vince McMahon shows up, and it's going to be a big one. You know something's going down, and then of course the actual pay-per-view opens up with Vince coming out, kind of laying the groundwork, welcomes out Stephanie and Triple H, and then they kind of go at it. Stephanie pulls the "daddy, daddy" thing. I love you, daddy. Kind of trying to persuade him. And then John comes out. There's a war of words, and then Vince McMahon drops a bomb. And from this point, I was like, this is either gonna make or break things here. Vince McMahon drops the bomb that if Team Cena wins, then the only way that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H will be back in power on Raw, on SmackDown for the pay-per-views is if John Cena reinstates them. So you go from having they'll be out of power, and then or Team Cena gets fired, but then there's a bigger thing on the line with that. So, Raph, I want to ask you, when Vince McMahon says this, what's your first thought?
Well, my first thought in for the back of my mind, for some reason, I thought it was gonna say Daniel Bryan. I don't know why. It's just all that shit. He was the first one we put through all that shit. So I was like, just to bring Daniel Bryan's name back into relevancy. But
Yeah,
at the
that's a
same
very good
time,
point.
it's just a way to continue the story and have them kiss up to Cena and just give Cena something to do until he has to face Brock again. Which you can see, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, you definitely make a good point. Maybe it could have been Daniel Bryan because he was the first one to really go through all the bullshit with the authority, like you said. But really laying it on the line, giving it to Cena. So it makes you wonder, what's going to happen with Cena. If his team were to win, it just makes the storyline very interesting. And maybe there was a rumor earlier, in the week before Survivor Series that Stephanie might be pregnant again. So this could be a way to write her off the show for a while. But
Huh? Well,
after that,
if that's true, Stephanie's a trooper for what she did.
yeah, definitely. She took a big bump on later in the show. Luckily Triple H was there to catch her, but still, if that rumor is true, this is a good way to keep her off the air. After that, we go to the tag match, which consists of the Usos, Miz and Mizdow, the Dust Brothers, and Los Matadores. If you guys didn't catch our pre-show, Aussie and Matt weren't really looking forward to this match because there wasn't a whole lot invested in it. They both, Aussie talked about it this week on the Sharpshoot, saying that these are basically the only four tag teams in the WWE that really mean anything. Sure, you have Slater, Gator, but they don't do anything. I'm surprised they even made it onto the show tonight. But you know, you have this match, and it wasn't a bad match. It was your typical, fatal four-way match with the titles on the line. There was lots of back and forth between the teams. Of course, they did the high spots out of the ring, jumping over everybody, jumping on everybody. That was kind of really the big
It
highlight of the
was a
match.
spot match.
Yeah, exactly. It was a spot match. It was kind of,
But
let's see who can one up who.
you know what? Once they with that spot off the corner rope, I think they tried one up NXT when they did that from when they had the fatal four for the NXT title.
Right, yeah, yeah. They
That's
I
all
can
I
see
was
where you're coming
thinking.
from with
Like
it.
they're ripping off NXT right there.
Yeah, they definitely copied that, from NXT. I believe they did it on SmackDown. I think it was 2 weeks ago with Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and Dolph Ziggler, and they kind of did the same spot, but just less people. So that was kind of a big thing there. But the shocking finish was that Mizdow and the Miz get the championships, and the thing I loved about this match was how the crowd didn't care about anything else except Mizdow, and that goes to show you how good he is at playing this character, being the stunt double. When the Miz is a straight heel and his stunt double is a baby face, and the crowd wants him, and I just love that in this match. And then you have the crowd, after they win and you have Miz with both the belts, and he's raising them, and they're booing, and then Mizdow does the same thing, and the crowd cheers, and I think it's going to lead to a great storyline between these two down the road, a big feud.
Possibly at Mania.
Definitely, if they do drag it out that long, that would be
That'd be
pretty
good. That'd be a
interesting.
decent payoff. Let them get a somewhere in the middle match. Don't it don't have to be nothing big. Maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Right,
Give them a chance to shine.
right. I definitely, it's not a bad idea, because it's such a big feud right now. If they can keep the right momentum going with it, then I can possibly see it happening at WrestleMania. But, it might die down. It depends on what they decide to do with it. It's going to be interesting to see how it comes off on screen
Yeah.
because, we kind of had this happen with Daniel Bryan and Kane where it was, I'm the tag team champion. I'm the tag team champion. So I think we're kind of in that situation again with this. So, is it kind of rehashing of a storyline with just, different people, or do we see this be something different?
I really don't see it that way. I mean, I get what you're saying, but the thing is, he's just following the gimmick. So Miz like Miz said, you win means I win. So
Right.
So he it's only gonna be Miz saying I'm the tag team champion, then Sanders doesn't go along with it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. If you and I win, I can definitely agree with that. But I was happy to see them win. Um,
Finally, Sanders got a title.
yeah, definitely. Finally, Sandow has a title in the WWE. It's been long enough. He's been through enough shit. They finally gave him something to work with. He's over with the crowd. Hopefully, this will turn into a big push for him in the future. And definitely interested to see what happens down the road. I believe after that, I might be wrong, but we had that backstage segment with Adam Rose and the Bunny, and then Slater Gator. I hate Adam Rose. I hate the Bunny. I don't know how you feel about it, but
I totally agree with you, dude. I mean, I was like, why did you take away Lil Kruger? Lil Kruger was cool. I liked Lil Kruger. And then you give him this shit. I mean, almost any like I love NXT, but almost they can get almost anything to fly down NXT since it's a smaller space. But yeah, I also say they also got to take into consideration what's gonna happen when they get out there. You seen Emma? Emma was big down there, but when she made to the main roster, she flopped.
right,
Adam Rose is just now they're just trying to come up with something else. But instead, the party gimmicks shitty.
right. You definitely make a good point. The differences between the stages of NXT and the main roster. Like you said back, down in NXT when he was Leo Kruger, he was, he definitely had a good gimmick. He had a good thing going. And now he's on the main roster and he's kind of taken Santino's spot, kind of
Yeah,
in that comedy role, kind of that comic relief thing. And he's kind of doing this heel thing where he's saying he's a god. I don't really know what they're trying to go with there. You know, maybe we do see like kind of a split personality thing happen down the road where one week he comes out as Leo Kruger, the next week he comes out as Adam Rose. I don't
That I
know.
wouldn't mind. That would be interesting if they could pull it off right. But the way things are, I don't think they have the talent to pull it off correctly.
I,
I mean,
e-
they could have had a good setup for it back when they were promoting Oculus. When he looked in the mirror, they could have
mhm.
had him look at Leo Kruger in the mirror, and that could like probably set it up. But they went with something stupid.
No, yeah, you do make a good point. You know, the whole Oculus movie promotion thing. That would have been a good way to do it. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. Again, WWE kind of dropping the ball. But you know, with the whole "I'm a God" thing now, it could go either way. We could just see it kind of fade out, and you could just go back to being, you know, this partier, this you know, tripping on acid 24/7, or you know, we see him have some kind of psychotic break, and then the two personality split, and one week he wrestles as one week he wrestles as the other. Either way, you know, at this point,
They need
I
to
don't
fix
care
him.
for Adam Rose.
They need like
I don't.
he has talent. It's just they gave him shit to work with.
Yep, yep. And I think that it goes a long way when you look at the difference between Damian Sandow and Adam Rose. You have Damian Sandow who was basically changing gimmicks every single week, and even though he was, you know, basically jobbing, he made it work in his favor. And you have Adam Rose who has a solid gimmick, but he can't make it work for himself. And it just goes to
It
show that you have to be the character.
yeah. The another thing is his look doesn't fit the gimmick to me either. He looks too dark and brooding to be a party person.
Yeah, yeah, that's also a good point. You know, he doesn't, you know, some guys, you know, when they step into a character role, they don't have the look. You know, they just can't hack it, and it doesn't go well with the crowd in the end. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that down the line. But as for now, don't care for Adam Rose, don't care for the bunny. It's time to go, guys. Oh man.
Rabbit season.
Yeah, it's rabbit season. Someone called Elmer Fudd. We're gonna move on here. After that, we have the Diva Survivor Series match, and this was
Oh
kind of a
God.
match that nobody really there was no hype around it. They just decided, okay, we need to do something with the Divas, so we're gonna put them in a traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series match. And I was disappointed, very, very disappointed in this match. I don't think it was booked right. I think they did a horrible job with it. There was a lot of botches, but um, my biggest thing with this match is what they did with Paige. And you know, Paige is supposed to be this tough girl from England. She's been wrestling since she was 13. She's seen the best of the best. She's the toughest diva on the roster. She can whoop anybody's ass. So that's really what they've built her as. She came in her first night on the main roster and won the Divas Championship, youngest Divas champion in WWE history. So she's in this big role. She's this big character, um, and then she just gets destroyed in this match. I mean, just laid out. Her team gets eliminated, and then you think, all right, this could be good. She's going to go in there, whoop everybody's ass, and steal the victory.
That's what I was
Instead,
thinking.
she just gets her ass handed to her, and it makes her look bad in the end. It was awful, absolutely awful.
Another thing is the match dragged way longer than it should have been. I mean, I know they're trying to fill out the time card, but that was unnecessary. They could have just thrown another random match just to fill it out. But like, and then only half the divas in there were on their shit. Cameron was one of the main botchers. Emma, Layla, Summer Rae to a point. The only ones that were really on it was Naomi, Alicia Fox, Paige, and Natalia.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They were
Like you say, like, oh, hold on. Wait, okay, stop. Now you can hit me.
no, yeah, I definitely agree with you. They didn't look all with it. They were really confused. They didn't really know what was going on. You could hear Natalia calling the shots. You could hear her, you know, telling the other diva, you know, do this, do that. So it wasn't really well put together. Couple of Rope Breakers weighing in here on YouTube. It is funny with the bunny, but Adam Rose has just not been interesting to me. Austin Brands, Cameron cannot wrestle. Mario Salome, I know they have her. I seriously thought she was going to eliminate everyone. And J-Dub, I thought Paige was going to wipe them out. Very disappointed. So obviously the Rope Breakers agree that Paige should have wiped everybody out, but instead she got squashed.
Yeah, but you know another thing is, I think the reason why they have to do that because they saved it for Dolph. I
Yeah,
didn't think
yeah,
they want to have two in one night, so they probably just saved it for him.
yeah. You bring up a good point. They could have made that so okay, we're gonna have one team that loses, and so the crowd doesn't get too tired out, and then in the end we'll flip the switch and have a big moment there at the end. But overall, I
That
was disappointed in this match.
yeah, that match could have been a potential show killer. If it was any other pay-per-view, if what didn't happen, that match could have killed the entire pay-per-view.
Absolutely, it definitely could have. But the WWE, this pay per view, it was hit or miss, and they they did an okay job with it. Um, but yeah, that Divas match just wasn't as well put
Necessary.
together. I know Aussie mentioned it on our pre-show that they like to do things with the Divas last minute. If you've seen Total Divas, a lot of the times they'll show it on camera basically last minute, like, hey, we want you to go out there and have a match with so and so. Just last minute. Like, okay, we're gonna pluck these four Divas and these four Divas, and you guys are gonna go out there and you're gonna have a match. I'm sure somehow, some way this match is going to tie back to Total Divas a new season.
Oh, of course. So, most of them, everybody in there except for Emma's a total diva.
I think Emma and Layla. I think everybody else
I think
was
Layla might have joined, but you might be right.
yeah,
But yeah,
Layla's not on the show, but I think everybody else in that match is a Total Diva. So I'm sure somewhere down the line in the new season they'll show these girls are fighting with these girls on the show, and then they decided that's how they end up in the Survivor Series match. But again, they just dropped the ball. But we're gonna move on
I
from
don't.
that now. I'll
I
let you
mean,
speak.
I don't blame the divas completely. WWE is part to blame for not giving them proper time, but it's
Right.
still a necessary match.
Right. I absolutely agree. They didn't give there wasn't a build to it, and that's the thing that always gets me with WWE is there's never a good build with some of these matches that they just throw on a pay-per-view. So hopefully they can learn from this mistake in the future. But I want to move on now to kind of the first big match of the night, which was Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. Kind of I don't want to say a lackluster build with this match, but they didn't build it up as well as they should have. But in the end, it played out well. Um, I was surprised they did as good as they did, seeing as how their styles are so different. You have Bray who's kind of calculating. He kind of goes after the person, with the right big moves, and you have Dean who's just all over the place, really whooping everybody's ass. And there were a lot of good spots in this. You had Dean kind of jumping around everywhere. The spot that really made me cringe was that big clothesline. Kind of three-quarters of the way through the match, you could just hear that slap. I mean, it was brutal, and Dean took it like a champ. I mean, it was. I was like, wow. You see those moves, you see those spots, and you think, this is a good match. So, I wanna ask you, you're watching this match that's going on. What are your thoughts on this match as you're watching it?
I mean, those spots and everything. It's like, what I want to say, Dean Ambrose is on his way to being this generation's Mick. He's not the next Mick, but he's gonna be this generation's version of him, where he's gonna be the one to go take those crazy, unnecessary spots, but he'll do it anyways. Um, but the match it was kind of slow. But I noticed that with Bray Wyatt matches, if he's in a feud, they like have a slow match to start with in the beginning of the feud, and then they go on and have better matches. Like his feud with Jericho, his match at Payback was kind of slow.
Right.
But what I loved was at the end where he did the "Go ahead, hit me," You're gonna be just like them. And you could just see on his face he played it perfectly when it backfired on him because he was expecting for Ambrose to follow the same route, but Ambrose just no fucks given, hit him anyways.
Yep, that was one of my favorite parts of that match. You know, Ambrose, just going after him, saying "fuck this," and just taking him out with that chair. I thought that was booked. I thought it was booked perfectly because, you kind of have to give Ambrose kind of that just a nice nudge after kind of taking that big defeat at Hell in a Cell, and he's kind of lost some steam. So now he's picking it back up, and that disqualification finish helped him a lot. And then of course he puts him through the table, and then I started marking out because he starts climbing the ladder, and I thought, oh man, he's gonna jump off this ladder, give him an elbow drop. I thought it was gonna happen.
Me too, but you know what? At the same time, but I don't think they would have let him because the way the air was set up, they could have seriously hurt himself. I didn't think they wanted him like doing that kind of crazy stuff. Where right now they need him. The roster's still barren. They can't afford
Right,
to lose him again. So
right.
that's why I bet they would under any other circumstances they would let him jump, but tonight they wouldn't have.
Right. Yeah,
It
you
was
do make a good point.
it was a clever setup though when they announced their TLC match. So that was a clever setup.
Yep. Yeah, you do make a good point with, WWE's roster being so thin right now. They don't have a lot of people. They definitely don't have a lot of faces. So, they need a guy like Dean Ambrose around to, elevate the shows, get people watching. He's become such a beloved character amongst the fans, especially those in the IWC. So they do need him around right now. Obviously, it was kind of a setup for their TLC match, and they did announce that later in the show. So it's definitely a good match overall. I enjoyed it. Did it live up to the hype? Maybe, but I thought it could be better. But I think come TLC, I think we're really gonna see a good match out of these two.
Agree.
I just want to jump to the rope breakers here. Mario Salame saying Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose was a sleeper match that met its expectations, and the clothesline was fucking huge. 10 out of 10 match, just amazing. Austin Brands, I was a little surprised with the DQ, but there was a lot of hard hits both those men took, and it was satisfying. Randy Hill weighing in here, SM Punk. I thought that clothesline killed him. He sold the hell of it. It must be getting points from Ziggler. Definitely agree, Randy. J Dub saying they gotta save the ladder elbow drop for TLC. Hopefully that does happen. And then Randy saying again when Ambrose did that that crab walk, I almost came. All right, Randy, calm down, calm down a little
Randy,
bit, man.
Randy, I'm gonna talk to you later, Randy.
But yeah, that was also a cool moment in the match when Ambrose kind of pops up and does the crab walk. I thought that was a really cool thing to do, and I like when guys do that in the ring when they play off each other like that and kind of steal signature things. It makes that much more interesting. And Aussie reminding all the rope breakers here, can't wait to see who wins WWE 2K15. How many of Jabromis are only watching because of the giveaway? Come on, Oss. Why you gotta discredit the show? No, I'm just playing, man. But you know, we're gonna move on from that, and after that, there is the Triple H locker room speech, kind of hyping everybody up. It's kind of they kind of play off every classic, basically every classic football movie. There's always that big speech in the locker room. The team's down at halftime, and they need to find a way to win. They need to find a will to win and fight. And so that's basically, what they did here. So I want to know what you thought of Triple H's speech.
It reminded me of 300. It didn't remind me more of like War Speech, like from Braveheart, but maybe it reminded me of 300. Like for a minute there, I thought he pretty much said tonight we dine in hell.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. You have Triple H, who's the general, he's the leader, and then um, team authorities, that those are his soldiers, and he's got to, lead them into battle. So, he gave him a good speech. Triple H never disappoints when he's on the mic or, and on a promo in general. He always delivers, and he delivered, once again here with this. Aussie Wing again. You should watch it all. You should all watch every week. That's my point, Alec. Yeah, I got it, man. Thank you for clearing it up for the rope breakers. After that, Adam Rose and the Bunny versus Slayer Gator. Don't care. Nobody cares.
I like
Take
the only positive to say is I like Slayer Gator's theme. That's the only positive I can take away.
I guess that's the only positive thing we can take away from this is the theme is all right. But other than that, we don't care. We're not going to talk about it. Fuck them both. After that, we get a Roman Reigns injury update. Um, I have a big issue with this. I know, Matt has an issue with this as well. Um, Keeping us, tuned in, showing us what Roman Reigns is up to, ruins the return. It doesn't get people hyped up for it. It doesn't make us want to see him more, want him back any more than before. His steam has kind of fizzled out. And I will say he cut a good promo. He did a pretty good job with that. So at least his acting lessons that he took are paying off. So, my question to you is with Roman Reigns announcing his return, saying, I'll be back next month. So, do you think Roman Reigns announcing that he's going to be back next month is going to ruin that return?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, now that we're expecting to know what's gonna happen, but we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if he's gonna face anybody, if anything's gonna come out of it. Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go straight after Seth Rollins like they've been saying, or is he gonna do something else? We don't know. It's most likely gonna be Seth Rollins, the most obvious choice. But it did take away the surprising factor. Like they could have saved it for like a Raw where he just comes out of nowhere to set up like a chairs match at TLC because I believe that's what they'll probably end up having.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I'm kind of on the fence about it, really.
Right, and the thing that I believe that's kind of going around is that he's supposed to be facing Rusev for the U.S. Championship, or that's kind of the supposed feud for the house shows. I don't know if that's going to translate onto Raw, but I think they could have done it where maybe they had him film some vignettes, but you didn't really know it was him. They could have changed it up a little, done something that's like a storm is coming. I don't know, whatever they could have done, but having Roman Reigns come on, once a month since he's been out, as one rule breaker pointed out, shoving him down our throats. Obviously we all know the rumor by now that he's supposed to go on, win the Royal Rumble, and face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31 for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, this is just another way of WWE saying, hey, Roman Reigns is still here. He's not, he's not completely disappeared. He's here. He's coming back. But obviously, this does ruin the return. A couple of rope breakers weighing in here. Mario Salame saying, if it wasn't for WWE memes, I wouldn't have known about Rope Break Wrestling. I'm definitely watching every week because you guys are cool to chat with and watch. So props to WWE memes for hooking Mario up with us. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. J-Dub saying, true Mario, me too. Giving props to WWE memes again. Randy. Crap. Let's see here. God damn it, lost the feed. There we go. Roman Reigns via Rock. Via satellite, yep. Austin Branch. A buddy of mine told you about you guys. Didn't know much about the shows right away. Definitely going to watch more often and need more people to talk about wrestling. Mario, so true, Alec, and so damn true, Randy. LMFAO via satellite. Man, there's a lot of rope breakers weighing in here, and I believe Aussie weighing in here telling everybody we have 3 shows: React after Raw every Monday after Raw, Sharpshooter with Aussie every Thursday night, and Before the Bell with Matt every Friday. So as you can see, Rope Break has a lot to offer you guys, and we're here tonight giving you the rundown of Survivor Series. So we're gonna go after that. Team Cena has their backstage segment. They don't really follow up with Triple H's. They don't have the same delivery. We're gonna win. Ryback, I'm hungry. basically trying to sell the shirt,
It
and
was a
then
rag. It was a ragtag group coming together.
yeah, and then you have Rowan at the end takes off the mask and he says win, and win, win, and then they quickly cut it.
But
So
I love what they're doing with Rowan. He's just out there, just doing whatever the hell he wants to do. He's just doing whatever random things. Like I don't know, it just cracked me up when they showed him. He's just sitting there playing with the Rubik's cube.
yeah, I think they could do a lot with him if they book it the right way. They don't just make him kind of this mindless dumbass. Like if there's kind of a certain pattern to what he's doing, I think it could definitely work for him.
If they don't have anything to do with Rusev at the moment, we get let them go at it for a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing how that turns out.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting food,
And that
Rusev and Rowan.
because Rusev's been able to pull off some decent powerhouse matches. His mainly his match against Jack Swagger have been my favorites, but he's been able to pull off some nice powerhouse matches.
Right, I definitely agree. Rusev is a great athlete in the ring. Definitely doesn't fail when the moment's high. Especially those two matches he had with Sheamus for the U.S. Championship. Both of those delivered well, and I'm not a big fan of Sheamus at all, but they definitely delivered. So it goes to show, what Rusev is capable of in the ring. So after that, we get to our Divas Championship match, Nikki versus AJ, and they play it off of WrestleMania 28 with the Daniel Bryan AJ Lee kiss. They do Brie kisses AJ, and then Nikki hits the rack attack, gets the win. The kiss sent the IWC up in storms. Some people had to go clean their pants, change their pants, whatever they had to do. But it definitely set the IWC into a storm. It happened, and now Nikki is a Divas champion. So it makes me wonder what happens from here, because we saw that Brie and Nikki were celebrating the win. There wasn't any discord between them. So was this kind of the plan all along for Brie to help Nikki get there and kind of take a beating just to get her to that platform of being Divas champion, or do we get a bigger story come the time when Brie is no longer Nikki's assistant, and then we see Brie attack Nikki, and then that sets up a big feud for them for the championship?
Well, I mean the kiss was awesome, but I think if it's the whole thing was just oh they're together the whole time would be stupid after all that horrible acting we had to sit through. Um, but because that whole celebrating together and all that and her smiling and all that was just like, what are you doing? Are you just gonna try to act like none of that ever happened and we have to deal with this? I mean, if they're gonna try to act like none of it happened, kind of failed because Cole was shoving it down our throats what was going on between them. Um, but there's something. But so I don't know what's going on there. But there's something else I want to bring up. I was talking with the other admins, saying with the rumors going on about AJ, and I was saying that if she drops, then the rumors most likely has to be true about AJ
Right.
retiring after tonight.
Right, that was definitely a big rumor. We talked about that on React After Raw on Monday. I believe it was Dave Meltzer who came out and said, AJ has no plans to leave the company, so she'll be sticking with the company for a while. I mean, again, those plans could always change, but
Yeah,
according to Dave Meltzer, she is sticking around. But I'm interested to see what happens between the Bellas from here,
I am too. I
because
hope
Brie.
AJ isn't. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I'll let you go ahead.
And like I agree. I hope she does stick around. They need her in the Divas division. So that's pretty much it. I mean, if she's gone, thanks for the moments, but I hope she does stick around. They really
Right,
need
I absolutely agree. She's a top talent in a depleted Divas division where 95% of that division is on a TV show. But now the big rumor that's dispelled is that a Total Diva can't hold a title. Now Nikki has the title, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Do we see kind of a civil parting, okay, whatever, or do we see, Brie attack Nikki once her time being her assistant is done, and then that sets up a feud. Randy says in the comments, bold prediction: WrestleMania 31, Nikki versus Brie. I I definitely could see that
It's
happening.
it's a possibility.
Definitely, it's definitely a big possibility. Especially with WrestleMania season right around the corner. The new season of Total Divas premiering, so it's a good way to sell it. It'll get people to tune into the match. J Dub saying, "So glad the Divas match was over quick. Brie was celebrating her last day of servitude, and hopefully her beating Nikki real soon." Austin Brands, I said this on the structure with Austin, but I feel Maurice returned against Nikki and Nikki versus Brie at WrestleMania. Not sure Brie looked happy when Nikki won. Brie going heel. Um, I don't think Brie will go heel just because she's married to Daniel Bryan. So that's not going to look good on her. So I don't see Brie going heel at all. I think she'll keep that baby face, so that way whenever Bryan comes back, they'll
Yeah.
both be baby faces in the company.
And if she went heel, it was like kind of like big WWE still there because all that made these past I don't know how many months unnecessary from
Right,
SummerSlam up to now.
right. I absolutely agree. It would just completely kind of devalue what they've done for it. They've built this feud up so much, invested so much in it, and it'd be a shame to see it all go to waste.
It'd be not a shame, it would be kind of stupid for them to just throw away a feud that nobody wanted to see that they built up so much.
Right. J Dub making a bold prediction here. AJ Lee will have the belt back by Royal Rumble when Total Divas comes back on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's possibility.
That is a big possibility. You could Nikki holds the title. They her and Brie have a match at TLC, and then at Royal Rumble, maybe there's a triple threat. Her, Brie, AJ, who knows? But that is a bold prediction. So we'll definitely see what happens. But we're going to jump into the main event of Survivor Series, Team Cena versus Team Authority. This was a big, big match. Everything was on the line tonight in this match. And I got to say, WWE did one hell of a job making this match worthwhile, making it free. That was a big, bold move. Like, hey, the
Yes,
pay-per-view is free. So this was a big move. And so the match starts off, and immediately once the match starts, Mark Henry is eliminated by Big Show. It was kind of predictable. We knew it was going to happen, and they point out, oh, they were once best friends. I mean, we've seen this feud 1,000 times. Nobody
yeah.
gives a shit.
It's
I'm
just
glad
another.
Henry. I'm
It's a
glad Henry
powerhouse.
was out quick.
Yeah, it's a powerhouse version of Cena and Orton.
Yep, and they're just
And
two slobs.
yep, when Big Show knocked out Mark Henry, I called that a sit your bitch ass down moment.
I,
Just sit your bitch ass
I do
down.
remember seeing that. Yep. Oh
I will
man.
probably, but I know it was gonna happen. Like in the beginning match, I just didn't expect. I thought that I expected at least a tangle up, but it's whatever.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Agree with you there. And Randy saying Mark Henry got buried faster than Zack Ryder. Wow.
But the only difference is Mark Henry will somehow bounce back.
Yeah, he'll find a way to bounce back. They'll put him in another meaningless feud with you know they'll probably, who knows, Rowan. I don't know. They'll put him in something. After that we have Rowan. No, not Rowan. I take that back. We have Ryback, who was eliminated by Rusev. Uh, there was
Yeah,
there was a good back and forth between those two. Makes you wonder what what happened with Ryback now, because he came back and he had all that big momentum. We know Rusev has had momentum since he came in. Rusev has never lost by pinfall or submission, only by DQ or countout. And so he goes in there, he pins Ryback. Does it kill Ryback's momentum, or is this just another stepping stone and possibly leading to a feud between the two?
I was actually about to mention that because has been rumors that they're going. that Ryback is gonna be the one to stop Rusev. But at the same time, just like that, it was a back and forth, but it was also the clusterfuck that happened during their segment that they also helped Rusev get the win over Ryback. So it was like, they could have. So I guess they did that whole cluster to make it look like so they don't have Rusev purely over Ryback. It's just it was a situation of circumstance.
Right. Yeah. I see where you're coming from there, and I do definitely agree with what you're saying. Um, Randy's saying I was so disappointed when Ryback got eliminated. It killed his momentum. So, a couple of rope breakers don't agree with that. J-Dub, predictable or not, it felt good to see Henry get KO'd first. I do have to agree with that statement. After that, we had a nice big battle between Rusev and Dolph Ziggler. Um, Dolph Ziggler's motto, stealing the show. He definitely did that tonight, and it kind of started with this going back and forth with Rusev, just taking a beating, just getting the holy hell beat out of him, and then kind of turning the tide when he gets tossed on that table, and you think it's all over there. A lot of the IWC kind of sitting on the edge of their seats, biting their fingernails, like Ziggler's going down here, and then he moves out of the way, gets back in the ring with just one count to go, and Rusev gets eliminated by countout. I thought this was a very smart decision on WWE's part because, again, that keeps Rusev looking strong. He didn't lose by pinfall or submission. It's a countout. So definitely a good way to go about it with that. And in the end, it keeps Rusev looking strong. After that, we have the two former members of the Wyatt family go at it, Rowan and Harper. And, for two big, tall guys, this was impressive.
They know
we
how
have
to move. They move
absolute
like they're little guys. That's what I like about these two guys. I mean, when Rowan when he's pulled out that spin kick out of nowhere, you don't see that often from big guys like that. So I
right.
know any normal guy who spells spin kick like, oh, spin kick, but I was just more impressed because you don't see big guys like that do it that often.
I absolutely agree. You don't see a 7 foot tall, 300 pound guy just pull a spin kick out of nowhere. And I thought that was great because, the thing is, we've seen Rowan in the past, and he hasn't been that great in the ring. We knew what Harper could do. He was big on the indie scene, so he's definitely good at what he does. We saw the drop kick. He's done Hurricane Ranas before, but we didn't really know what Rowan was capable of. And after this match tonight, we got to see more of what he could
It
do,
was
and that spinning kick really sold him for me.
Yeah, putting Rowan on Team Cena was a smart decision. Like it threw everybody off, but it was a great way to showcase him. I mean,
Absolutely.
they made him look strong. I mean, the way they got him out was just because he got clocked out of nowhere by Rollins, so it still makes him look strong at the end. And now we know that he can move. So now after tonight, he's gonna have a bit of more of a following.
Absolutely, I agree. This match definitely set Rowan up for a good future. We may see him and Harper feud, within the
Yeah.
next few weeks, because Harper just kind of turned on everything that Bray taught him. He joined the machine. He joined, everything that Bray fought against. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. They told a good story when they were facing each other. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what happened.
So this is like the most logical thing that happens having them feud because if not, they're just gonna be both. They're both gonna be well. Roman will be the main one floating if they don't go into the feud because at least with Harper he could at least have a feud with Dolph for the title.
Right. Right, I definitely agree with you there. So it sets Rowan up in a good position. After that was kind of the first big shock of the night. Cena is eliminated by Rollins. Uh, no
Via
one
Big
really
Show.
saw it coming. No one saw that coming. He gets taken out by Big Show with the punch. Of course, Big Show's going to turn heel. That's what he always does.
Mm.
Because he's got that ironclad contract, whatever. But Cena gets eliminated by Rollins, and that is subsequently followed by "Thank you, Rollins" chants. Um, it's such a bad idea. We've done this before, we've said this before on React. Last time that Rollins took Cena out, that Rollins is supposed to be the heel, and you're gonna put him up against John Cena and pin John Cena. John Cena, arguably, you know, not liked by a lot of the fans in attendance, a lot of the adult fans, and so it makes Rollins almost look like a baby face.
Yeah, but I mean the thing with Big Show was shocking, but wasn't as shocking because it's like the 250th heel turn by him.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, it's like now what happened was what was the point of it? Now that the way everything went down. I mean, are we gonna be stuck with another filler feud with Show and Cena? I mean, no one wants to see them again. I
Right.
mean, no one.
You bring up a good point.
People barely want to see Big Show. I mean, I love Big Show. I used to love watching him when I was younger, but like, let him make appearances once in a while. We don't need him. Like you want to get your money. I understand that, but I think it's about time for you to go. Him and Mark Henry and Kane. Honestly, I'm getting tired of Kane too.
Right. I definitely agree with you there. Aussie said it on the sharpshoot this week. Big Show was good to watch when we were all younger. When he was younger, he was a lot more relevant. He made a lot more sense. Now he's just kind of there to just fill a spot. And you also do make a good point. What was the point of him taking Cena out? Because the end result, it doesn't really matter now because no matter what, Big Show still has his job. But
Yes, but
it
another thing is, I want to say the reason why it was surprising because I think more people were expecting it from Dolph and not Big Show.
yeah, you do make a good point, because some people thought, well, Dolph lost the title, how is he going to get it back? Well, sided with the Authority, and they'll set up a match. So in the end, that didn't happen. Austin Brand saying definitely Rowan versus Harper for the IC. I would welcome that, man. Mario Salome, Big Show turning heel equals best for him because he's better as a heel, but he's getting too old and boring to be interested in him anymore. Absolutely agree. Randy saying Cena's elimination almost made me stop watching, but I just couldn't. I'm really glad I stuck around because the finish was amazing. Amazing. It made me feel like a kid again. Mario Salome is so damn true. J Dub, Cena getting eliminated, leaving Ziggler and made the whole main event. Um, Mario Salome, I didn't expect Ziggler to pull it off and shit. I thought it was just going to be an Authority decimation. And, I think we all did at that point because after that, the only one left was Dolph Ziggler. And he just got the holy hell beat out of him by Harper and Kane and Rollins. They just went at him, and then somehow Ziggler finds second win and takes out Kane. Boom, Kane's gone, and you're like, okay, now it's 2-on-1. So this match is really starting to get interesting. Um, it was it could have gone either way at that point, and
Yep.
then shockingly, Harper gets eliminated by Ziggler. And so now it is Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, and they yeah exactly, they go at it, and
They tear
you
it
know
down.
they tear the house down, they steal the show. Dolph Ziggler living up to that motto, stealing the show. Dolph Ziggler had the win at one point, but there was no ref, and that stops, and they go back at it again, keep going, and Rollins is about not Rollins. Ziggler's about was it Rollins? Yeah, it was Rollins. Rollins pinned Ziggler with Scott Armstrong out in the ring, the crooked ref from the beginning of the Authority storyline, and somehow Ziggler breaks out of that pin.
No. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but you got mistaken. One
And yeah,
ref
I
gets
think I do.
yeah, one ref gets knocked out.
Yeah, ref gets knocked out.
Triple H shanks him out, and then another ref comes
Yeah,
down when Ziggler's about to get the W. Then Triple H goes and attacks him, and they all just start beating the holy hell out of him.
yeah,
Then
right.
Scott Armstrong comes out, and that's when the epicness happens.
You're right. Yep. So the refs get knocked out, and then all hell breaks loose. The Stooges beat the hell out of Ziggler. Ziggler manages to fire back, pulls a couple of super kicks out of nowhere, really takes everybody out, and then you
Triple H
know
takes him out.
Triple H takes him out, and then the big moment that we've all been waiting for months and months since it was announced that Sting signed with the WWE. It finally happened. Sting makes his WWE debut. And it was reported earlier this week that Sting was going to be at Survivor Series. WWE is going to have him debut at the show. And when it happened, I marked out.
I marked out too.
I was jumping around. I was so excited because this is a big name. He's never stepped foot in a WWE ring, and just the rumors, since he signed with the
Yes.
company, Sting's gonna be here, Sting's gonna be there. It just never happened. A lot of people called Rope Breakout on it. I'll believe it when I see it. Um, so that is interesting. Matt joining the video call. Matt, holy shit, you were just in time to talk about Sting. Wow, this is great.
I
So
fucking made it.
he made it. Matt is here, but
Whew.
Sting, he shows up and there is the epic stare down of a lifetime. You have Triple H, one of the biggest stars from WWE during the Attitude Era, during the Monday Night War, and then you have Sting, the loyal and the faithful WCW guy, never jumped ship, stayed with it there till the very end, and there's just that big stare down, and you can just feel the tension in the air. It was amazing. I just couldn't look away. I was glued in. I felt 5 years old again watching
It
wrestling for
was
the
one.
first time. Go ahead, Raph.
It was one of those moments that we rarely get to see that in WWE anymore. But it was one of those moments where it just stands still.
Right,
Like
I
we
absolutely
see
agree.
those joking memes where it says that people will try to stand still and it's something stupid at the end. But this one delivered. WWE
Absolutely.
did a great job. They if they don't get their payoff from the free, then they're doing something. Then there's something else going on. Because that right there should get them at least a few more subscriptions.
Oh, I absolutely agree. 100%.
And then having them debut at Survivor Series, where a lot of other big names debuted. I mean,
Absolutely.
Cooker, Undertaker, Rock.
Yeah, you
But
make a good point there.
I mean that Dolph and Sting saved the show. If it wasn't for them two, the pay per view would have been shit.
That's a strong statement there, Matt, raising the people's eyebrow. But you do make a good point. It was one of those moments where everything just stands still, and it's kind of like when Lesnar broke the streak, everything just stopped. And
This was
this
more
was one of
enjoyable.
those moments. This was one of those moments. So, Matt, you joined the show. So I want to get your thoughts. Sting comes out. You and Oz are watching. What's going on?
Well, honestly, complete mark out moment, without a doubt. Me and Oz jumped out of our seats, high five. We were screaming. His girlfriend Becky was in the background. I'm like, wow, you guys are idiots. It was nuts. Soon as we heard the crow, I got pumped because it's like, yes, they used his crow gimmick. His whole demeanor was the crow gimmick.
Right.
Even Aussie mentioned it. The camera angles they used, the distant camera angles, everything they did was perfect for this
I
debut
agree.
of Sting. I loved it. Super exciting. I was pumped about it. Me and Aus were actually sitting there thinking, all right, maybe Sting isn't going to debut. So it was definitely a surprise because even though we knew it was possible, we were kind of thinking it wasn't going to happen because of the way the match was turning out. But yeah, we were pretty damn excited, out of our seats, screaming like fans who just got backstage passes to see Bieber.
Oh my god. I mean, I gotta say, I was like the reason why I was really surprised because the whole time I was expecting Randy. I was expecting
Oh,
Orton to come out of nowhere and save Dolph and RKO Triple H. But I'm glad I was wrong.
yeah, I think that was a good way to do it because they did fly Randy Orton in from New Mexico. If you guys didn't know, he's filming the Condemned 2 right now. Hopefully that'll be over with soon. And that was the thing because this match is going on and on. It's getting towards the end, and we're like, what's going to happen? Are we going to see Randy? Are we going to see Sting? Are we all going to look like idiots? Randy didn't come out. Sting comes out and gives his death drop to Triple H, and then Ziggler wins by pinning Rollins, gets the huge victory for Team Cena. The crowd erupts. I mean, it was probably one of the best pops I've heard in a long time. The crowd blows up. They love Ziggler. So Ziggler saves Team Cena, saves the WWE. So now the Authority's fate is in Team John Cena's hands. So really, John Cena is the one with all the power now, if you think about it. So, Matt, I'll get to you in a second because I do want to talk to you about Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt because I know you're a big fan of both of them. But Raph, as we get to the end here, I want to ask you what your final thoughts about the pay-per-view was and what you would give it for a letter grade.
Letter grade, just barely made A minus. And I'm shooting it up because without what happened at the end, it would have been a C. I'm saying in my statement, Sting and Ziggler saved the match. WWE, please start giving Ziggler the respect that he deserves. He worked his ass off tonight. He deserves to start getting a proper push. I know he's injury prone, but give the kid a proper chance this time. That's all I'm saying. I'm pretty sure everyone else will agree with me. He showed tonight he could pull it off. If he could stay injury free, nothing major, I'm expecting him to get some type of title run next year.
Definitely a big bold statement there from Raph, giving it, just barely an A minus. Raph, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. It was a pleasure to have you. Always a pleasure to have your support from WWE Memes. We thank you guys so much for that. It's great having you on the show. We hope to have you on again sometime soon.
Anytime, man. Just shoot me a message and I'll jump on if I'm able to.
Absolutely, everybody. That's Raph from WWE Memes. Go check them out at facebook.com/WWE Memes. All right, Raph, we will see you later.
All right.
All right, Matt. I'm going to jump to you now. All right, Rope Breakers. Matt is here. He's late, but that doesn't matter because, Matt is always give or take. So, Matt, we just got done talking about Sting. So, we're going to go into overtime here at Survivor Series. It doesn't matter. It's a big show. We're going to get to our giveaway winner in just a little bit. But, Matt, you're a big fan of Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose, respectively. I know you had I guess I want to say a lot of criticism going into this match. You were, questioning its ability to deliver. So,
First and foremost.
But I want to ask you a question. Do you feel that this match lived up to the hype?
No, and here's why. I think that the hype sucked.
All right.
So I think it lived past the hype. I personally enjoyed this match. First and foremost, I just want to say to all the rope breakers around the world, if you've seen me before, you know that my internet is completely shitty, and it tends to freeze. If you've never seen me, you've never seen the show, my internet is shitty, tends to freeze. So if that happens and I look even more idiotic than normal, bear with me. I'll bounce right back. But I'm dealing with some garbage, like 2 tin cans on a string type deal over here. It's straight up nonsense. But as far as the match is concerned, I enjoyed the match a lot. I thought both guys did a hell of a job. A lot of great in-ring storytelling. My only gripe against this entire match, and maybe they'll rectify it on Raw, I think there's only one way they could do this, was kind of the fact that they left Bray Wyatt buried underneath all of that stuff. I kind of felt a little bit like he should have been smiling or laughing at the end because he got what he wanted. That was the whole point of Dean Ambrose, hitting him and getting that disqualification. He was egging him on. He was on his knees. Come on, hit me. He wanted that reaction out of Ambrose. Also, as Aussie pointed this out, it's a stark contrast between who Ambrose is as a main eventer or a mid-carder, depending upon where they want to put him, and John Cena, because John Cena put in that same predicament, didn't hit Bray, wouldn't do it. Where
Right.
Ambrose put in that predicament, he's like, yeah, I'll hit him. So, like I said, my only gripe was the fact that they left him buried underneath all those tables, ladders, all that stuff. Obviously, I thought that was a great nuance, obviously, for the TLC match coming up. I don't like that they announced it right on Survivor Series. I thought that was stupid. I did not like that one bit. I think they should have waited a little bit. But it was a nice little nuance. Obviously, we knew right away that that's probably what was going to happen. But I think the best way to work this is if Bray comes out tomorrow night on Raw, laughing, smiling, like it didn't even affect him. I think that's the best way to do this because he won by disqualification, but technically, overall, Dean Ambrose won the match. He lost the match, but he won the battle, I guess you could say. He got over on Bray, beat the crap out of Bray. So I think, Bray needs to come out on Raw. They need to book it to have Bray come out on Raw, laughing, you did exactly what I wanted you to do. It's exactly what I wanted, things like that. But overall, I thought the hype for this match, I thought the build for this match absolutely sucked. I thought the promo and the video package that they made, that they showed during Survivor Series, I thought that was way better than the entire build-up. I thought that really packaged things together really, really nicely. But this match, I thought they did a great job. I thought both guys did an awesome job, and I can't wait to see what other things they can do. Now that they have weapons in their next match, I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Right. I said that earlier in the show. I think next month's match at TLC is definitely going to deliver. It's going to live up on the hype. And I know Aussie's kind of waiting for Bray's breakout match, really solidifying himself. And I think next month that could be the match. So I kind of want to jump around with you here for a little bit before we get to our winner. Your thoughts on Miz and Mizdow winning the tag titles?
Well, if you saw the pre-show, which I know you did, thank you for watching, Alec. I appreciate it. I not to toot my own horn, pat myself on the back, but I called it. Aussie was completely wrong with that prediction. He picked the Dust Brothers. I, at the last second, changed my decision because I really did feel like Mizdow would win because WWE looked at their guys as these guys are really over right now. At least Mizdow is. So we want to give the title to somebody who the crowd really loves. I love the fact that The Miz held both titles. And I don't know if you saw it, but I think it was on their Instagram. Aussie showed it to me. There was a picture of The Miz holding both titles, and the next one was Mizdow mimicking where he was holding absolutely nothing. And I thought that was perfect. I think, this is going to work out. And I said to Aussie that I feel like they could do some sort of Marty Jannetty HBK type dissension between the two, where they'll break up in that form. Not saying they're Marty Jannetty and or HBK, but I think that could happen. I think that Mizdow's obviously more over. I think we're going to see some sort of feud between the two in the future, and I like this move by the WWE. I think it works. So
we could have Mizdow break a coconut over the Miz's head because I see Roddy Piper in the background there on that cup. So
my man Roddy Piper. We can change it to Jake the Snake if you want. Whatever you want.
Jake the Snake. But a couple of rope breakers weighing in tonight still now. Thank you guys so much for watching, sticking with us through the show. We always appreciate it. Randy Ropebreaker, WWE's admin and upcoming YouTube star, Life is Sweet. Raph weighing in saying, glad to be on the show tonight. I stand by my bold statements. Raph, it's great having you on the show. And Austin Brands, now they can keep this hype going with the new subscribers into TLC. Definitely hope that does happen with this because they did really deliver. So I know you weren't with us earlier in the show, but I talked about the Divas Survivor Series match, and I was pissed. I was livid because of what happened with Paige. It's not just because I'm partial to her and I'm in love with her. It's the fact that that they've built her up as kind of this this tough girl diva. She's wrestled all around the world. She's been wrestling since the age of 13, and she's just kicked ass and take names from everybody she's fought. Came in her first night, won the Divas Championship, and tonight she gets her ass handed to her. I don't know what the booking decision was there, but I wasn't happy about it.
Well, actually, she did post on Twitter, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if this is something that they're going to add to her character, but she said after losing, she tweeted and said, "This is why I don't have friends. They're all useless idiots." So I think if they incorporate that into Raw, I think that could make her loss meaningful. Her friends cost her the match. None of them could win. She was left in there by herself. So I think that in and of itself could build its own storyline. But knowing WWE, she'll just keep jobbing, and then eventually go back to England, and they'll be wasting another talent. I'm being obviously pessimistic, but
I could
WWE does that bullshit all the time. But they could use that as a storyline.
Maybe they, turn her back into that kind of anti-diva character. Who the hell knows? Quickly want to talk to you about that Roman Reigns update. I know I was talking to you during the show. We both agreed that he did cut a good promo, so obviously those acting lessons paid off. But he announces his return. How do you think that's going to impact his return when he comes back?
I don't think it helps. I don't like when they do that, and as I voiced on Before the Bell earlier today, the pre-show, I was pissed off that they ruined a great possibility for a return for Bad News Barrett by bringing it completely unnecessary. There was no reason for him to be out there. The promo he cut did nothing for anybody. Doesn't help him out. A return would have been so much better. A surprise return would have been so much better. And I really get annoyed when they do stuff like that. This was pretty much the same thing for me. It was frustrating that they're going to announce when he's going to return in a month's time. This time next month, I'm going to be returning. Great. We know by some of the rumors December 8th he's going to be at a house show. And I believe I read he's going to be fighting Rusev. Obviously, it's a house show, so weird shit always happens at a house show, so it may mean absolutely nothing. Vince McMahon might fight at that very house show. Doesn't mean anything. But a feud between the two would be cool. Vince comes out with his bandana and his goddamn biker gloves, cut off sweatshirt. Oh, damn it, Vince. But no, I don't like that they announced his return. I don't like that they even had him doing an update. I don't think that's necessary. I just want to see him return. But in the same sense, thinking about his progression, I think they're using these updates as a platform to practice his mic ability. Right. So I think they are, in a sense, a necessity, even though I don't really like them. I think in this case, they are necessary because they are helping him get more used to being on the mic and talking. He was much more fluid, much more natural this time around. It made it much more believable. He was much more relatable. Actually enjoyed this promo for the first time. I can say I liked it. I mean, there was a part I think he stumbled. He wanted to say something else and then just jumped past it, and it was kind of a stumble. But I think he recovered. So the promo was good. I don't like that. But I don't like that he announced that I'll be back in a month's time. I don't think that was necessary.
Right. I agree with you there.
I just think that having these things these updates are more than enough. They don't need to tell you he's going to be back in a month's time. Just have him return. I was actually sort of expecting some sort of return tonight during the main event because he was so adamant about saying I'll be back in a month that it would have been a surprise to have him come out now. But obviously I didn't. But I'm completely okay with it not happening since the outcome was Sting.
Right. Raph weighing in here saying, Alec, don't let Liz hear you say that you're in love with Paige. She will fight you for her. Well, I will fight her to the death, all right? That's what's going to happen.
Wow.
To the death.
You heard it here first, folks.
I will die.
Alec is violent towards women.
No, I'm not Adrian Peterson or Ray Rice. I'm not those guys. What happened? What?
Little pop culture reference.
Little
Calling out Ray
NFL
Rice and Adrian
controversy.
Peterson. Well, Adrian Peterson didn't hit women. He hit his kids.
That we know of, okay? He hit children. Still, if he hits children, you never know. All right.
That's true. True. That's true. Making assumptions here on React. That's what we do. That's what we do. Calling out. We're calling out people. That's what
Calling you
happens
out,
on
man.
React.
No, it's whatever. All right. We're finally coming towards the close of the show here. We talked about it earlier. Raph and I did. The Divas Championship match quickly ended a throwback to the WrestleMania 28 match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, with Bryan getting that kiss from AJ Lee in the beginning. Brie flipped the script, and Nikki picks up the win. So this happens, and obviously the IWC had to go change their pants, but what do you think happens from here on out with Nikki and Brie, based on what happened in the ring after the match, celebrating together?
I think it's going to be interesting because obviously right now she's playing the part of her sister's advocate. She's not really as resistant to it anymore. In the beginning, she was, I don't want to work for you like this. I don't want to be your slave. Now she's actually helping her. But I feel like in the end, it's going to lead up to, Brie turning on Nikki and winning the championship. I think that's the ultimate goal. I think it's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Raph said the same thing.
I think Nikki's going to hold it until then, and I think Brie will capture it at that point. Great minds think alike. Think alike. That's why I mean. That's why me and Raph thought the same thing. I just feel like right now this whole heel Brie, where she's helping her sister out and hurting and doing stupid things like that. Not that lip lock was a bad thing or hurting anybody. It didn't hurt me. It was actually it was quite interesting. Anyway, I think that right now I think it's just like she's just doing. Obviously, like I said, shitty internet, camera froze. So I think she's just, doing what it is so that she can ultimately get what she wants, which is that Divas Championship. So I think we're going to see her turn back face again. We'll see her a heel Brie for a while, and then she'll turn back babyface. It was all a lie. It was a trick. I'm not really helping you. I just want that. I want your title. I want to get away from you, blah, blah, blah. But I thought it was an interesting match. I mean, obviously it was quick. I'm more curious on what they're going to do with AJ now that she doesn't have the title. She's not going to be on Total Divas. I know there was a lot of speculation. Aussie mentioned it earlier that with her changing her name or going by AJ Brooks or something like that now, or something to that effect, April Brooks or whatever, that she is that she's getting heat backstage. That's just the IWC flapping their gums. Who knows if that's true or bullshit. But one thing I do want to say, I want to mention this. I don't know if you guys brought this up or not. Where the fuck was Cesaro? Wasn't he? Well, I thought he was a part of this.
He came out on the pre-show and had an impromptu match with Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger, who is too injured to compete for Team Cena, has a match on the fucking pre-show. Tell me how that works.
Wait. Say that again? My shitty internet interjected.
On the kickoff show for Survivor Series, Cesaro came out, cut a promo saying why he was neutral, played into the whole Swedish thing, and then Zev Coulter and Jack Swagger come out, and then they have an impromptu match. So you have Jack Swagger, who's too injured to compete for Team Cena, all of a sudden has an impromptu match with Cesaro on the kickoff show.
What? Oh my god, that's terrible. See, this is why nobody watches the kickoff show, because this shit is just ridiculous. And then you got Fandango, who I swear to God, I thought he was part of the budget cuts. I thought they cut him a while ago.
No, he was just came back with some new gimmick doing the salsa. I don't know what it was. It was bullshit. It was bullshit.
Absolute nonsense. My internet is getting worse and worse.
Internet is getting worse. Just want to jump to some of the rope breakers real quick.
See, this is why I can't have my phone.
Raf saying, book it, Alec versus Paige, no holds barred, WrestleMania. Randy saying, Alec versus Liz for the right to say, who loves Paige more? Austin Brands, LOL, had to put the Peterson joke in there. Of course I had to. You know I had to. I had to do it. It's a react show. I don't pull any punches. They're coming full force, not like Cena's. Okay, done with that. I just want to kind of end out the show here on a little final note. Just want to ask you, what did you think about Cena's elimination in the Survivor Series match?
I actually loved it. I was actually like, holy shit! It was unexpected. That's why I liked it. Didn't expect Cena to be eliminated that soon. I thought he was going to be like the last guy in the ring. I think most people thought that. Did not expect him to go out like that. Loved the fact that Ziggler, was the guy to really get a huge push there.
Yep.
And that was amazing for him. Really impressed with that. Hopefully it's not just a one-night thing. Hopefully, because I mean, I can't see them not, but then again, it is WWE, so I kind of can. But I love that. I love that Cena stepped out. I love that Ziggler was the last guy standing. I love that Big Show, knocked him out. I thought that was interesting, even though it is the Big Show, and honestly, at the end of the day, who gives a shit? But I thought that it was unexpected. I didn't see that coming. So I thought that main event was awesome. There was so much great storytelling. And then Ziggler versus Seth Rollins, honestly, we're talking about it. It was pretty much like a completely separate match in another.
Oh, I agree 100%. They just basically, it's like the Survivor Series match ended, and then you had the real main event, which was Ziggler and Rollins.
Exactly, and both were awesome. It was just a great main event.
I absolutely agree with you 100%. So, Rope Breakers, we are way into overtime here. Don't worry, we're going to send you home soon where you can go to bed, go watch the network, do whatever you want. But now on React, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. Not the giveaway yet. Nope, it's the final thoughts and the letter grade. So, Matt, I'm going to send it over to you. Your final thoughts and letter grade on this pay-per-view.
I'm actually going to disagree, and this is where the eyebrow was raised when Raph was talking. No offense to Raph, cool dude, but I got to disagree with him. And I know he's not here to defend himself. He might message on in the comments, but I really didn't think it was all that bad. I thought, all in all, the pay-per-view was very solid. I think Sting's debut, which Michael Cole said his return, because he's a freaking idiot. Not his return. He's never been in the WWE.
He's never been there. Come on, dumbass.
Sting has returned. No, fucking.
Sting has arrived.
Yeah, put your head down. Just stop it. You gotta drive me nuts. I don't know who needs to
quit more, him or Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler just needs to stop. JBL's comments to Roman Reigns were hilarious. I thought those were funny. I was saying he was as leader of the Shield, Rollins, and you're taking vacation. JBL really sold that job. Really getting sidetracked. I thought all in all the matches on this card were really solid. Obviously, take away the Divas Survivor Series match, because that was kind of lame altogether. That was kind of thrown together bullshit. But you take that match out, and obviously the last minute Slater, Gator, and Adam Rose and the damn Bunny. Take that out of there, the two filler matches. Every other match was pretty decent. The Divas match, as wrestling goes, no, it wasn't. Storyline-wise, I thought that was fantastic. The tag team match, which I wasn't really excited for to begin with, I thought that was pretty solid. I don't know why Los Matadors was in that match, other than literally the entire tag team division just put in one match because they have nobody else. But I thought the match was pretty decent. I didn't think it was a bad match. especially because of what I was expecting out of it. Um, I felt like, obviously Bray, Dean, um, that match right there really, really one hell of a job. And then the main event. The main event was fantastic. I thought that they broke it up perfectly. The backstage segments. I thought all in all this was really, really well done. There's a lot of great storytelling, which I'm a huge stickler for. A lot of nuances. I thought it was really well done all the way around. And that main event just capped it off. I thought that main event just did a perfect job at capping off the night. And then to top it all off, that main event, I think this pay-per-view would have been great for me, even if Sting didn't return. Sting returning was just the cherry on top. It was the icing on the cake. It just made it that much sweeter. So I honestly am going to give this pay-per-view an A+, and that is unheard of for me. I'm giving it an A+. I honestly think that Survivor Series was almost as good as WrestleMania 30.
That is a wow. As a first here on any React show, Matt giving a WWE pay-per-view, a WWE show an A+. That's right. It happened here only on React. Couple of rope breakers weighing in. Randy saying my grade is a solid A. Mario Salamene saying I would have given it an A++ if it wasn't for the horrible Divas matches, but he gives it an A-. So all in all, a lot of people keeping it in the A category. I do have to agree with what you said. If they had taken out the Divas Survivor Series match and the god-awful Adam Rose match, it would have been overall very solid pay-per-view. It still was an overall solid pay-per-view. I was thoroughly enjoyed, watching it. Um, it was great. WWE did a good job knowing that there's a lot on the line for a free pay-per-view. A lot of people just signing up, watching the pay-per-view might cancel. So they really drove the point home that this is a big deal, and they delivered. Like you said, Sting was just the cherry on top. So now the bigger question is, who do we see him face? He's gone on record saying he wants to face Undertaker, but it doesn't look like Undertaker's going to make it to 31. Due to just his body just giving out injuries, just keeping him back, whatever reason. So he did say his second option would be Triple H. So, did we see them plant the seeds for that tonight? It's entirely possible. I would definitely welcome that match. Both guys, legends in their own rights, Hall of Famers. So, Sting is the cherry on top to an overall solid pay-per-view. So I'm going to give it an A. An A+, I'm going to give it an A overall. I was enjoyed. I liked it. We're critical here on React, here at Rope Break. We don't pull any punches. But now, guys, it is time. It's showtime.
Actually,
shit.
not
What?
Not to interrupt, but it wouldn't be a React with Matt Donato involved if I did cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, you had to do it.
It's almost. I have to do it.
You have to do it.
Well, if I let it go too much further, then it wouldn't make any sense to talk about it anymore. Since we're still in the midst of talking about the pay-per-view, I just want to throw this in there. I like the fact that they started the. You just calm yourself down over there. You just relax. I don't need none of your bullshit. I like the fact that they started the pay-per-view with a storyline. They didn't just start it with a match. They had Vince come out. They built off the storyline, and it was, and we say this, there was continuity throughout the entire pay-per-view, and we use that term often on React. It flowed through, and even though the Survivor Series Divas match was crappy, the Adam Rose match was crappy, I thought the match placement was perfect. I thought that it worked out to the point where, it wasn't just jumbled one right after another. You got a breather, you got a great decent match in between each one of those, so it wasn't like thrown in your face right away. But like I said, I like Vince coming out, Triple H coming out, Cena coming out, and then both cutting promos, building, the main event, obviously, because that's what you need to do. When you go into the pay-per-view, that main event is the point of your entire show. That's what people are paying for. So you need to build it, and they did a good job. Because normally they do a pay-per-view, first thing that happens is a match. And I think there's no story development in pay-per-views anymore. So this pay-per-view really, really
He froze again, ladies and gentlemen.
He did a great job at
There
that.
he is. He's back. He's back. He's back from being frozen.
I'm back. Damn internet.
He's back.
The storytelling and the continuity and all that is what, in a sense, makes me feel like it was just as good as WrestleMania 30. That's what I'm getting at. I feel like that's not really seen much anymore in pay-per-views. You don't get that backstage feeling. You don't get these storytelling. There's no, stories being told in any of the matches, and we got that, which is why I really, really enjoyed this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Some of the Rope Breakers agreeing here. Raph saying WWE should start giving more respect to their big shows like they did with Mania and tonight. Mario Salome, I know they need to make Royal Rumble and SummerSlam live up to their expectations. And Randy's saying, I think they should cut it to one pay-per-view every 2 months. That way they can really work on the storylines. They could do it, but WWE makes a lot of money from the pay-per-views, not just through the network subscription and pay-per-view buys, but just basically off ticket sales and merchandise sales at those events alone. So it'd be kind of tough seeing as how WWE has such a big budget and they are continuing to make cuts. But you never know. You guys have been here for an hour and a half now. It's time to close off the show, but not before we get to our WWE 2K15 giveaway. That's right. It's showtime. It's time to give it away. You guys have been waiting, supporting, liking, sharing, subscribing to all this, supporting us through all the way. And now it's time to announce the winner. I don't have the sound effects up, so I can't do the drum roll. But we're not going to wait any longer. So the winner of our WWE 2K15 giveaway for Survivor Series is Jeremiah Golder. You have won WWE 2K15 for the console of your choice. That's right, Jeremiah Golder, you have won. Congratulations on winning this giveaway. This is a big giveaway for us. Now listen, guys, I know some of you are upset because you didn't win. You're supporting us. That's great. We appreciate it. But here's the thing with Rope Break. There's always another giveaway. We're always giving stuff away to you for free. So you may not win right now, but next month at TLC, you might win something. Royal Rumble, you win something. We're always giving stuff away. You can't get these giveaways in the bleachers. You can't get them cage side. You can only get them here at Rope Break Wrestling. So Jeremiah Golder, you have won. But here's the thing. You have until the end of Monday Night Raw to get us your shipping information so we can get that game to you along with which console you want it for. So congratulations, you have won. And as I said, Rope Breakers, you can always win at another pay-per-view because that's what we do here at Rope Break Wrestling. Randy weighing in, RKO's Jeremiah and steals his win. Man, it is brutal over here. Everybody fighting over it. Guys, it was great. So, you won, man. You won. Make sure you get us your information, what console you want it for, by the end of Monday Night Raw. If you don't get it, we keep it for ourselves, damn it. All right. Matt, you know what time it is.
I know.
We got to do it. We're going to do it tonight. We're going to do it tomorrow. You know what time it is. Drop it on them.
I know.
Drop the pipe bomb.
I know what time it is. If you're new to Rope Break, then you're not going to know what's coming. But if you've been here before, you know what to do. If you don't, you're pretty stupid. This is what I say this every single react, every single Thursday or every single Friday on Before the Bell. I don't even know when the hell. I'm so amped up. I don't even know when my own show is.
You're trying to take over the sharpshoot.
I'm trying to take over the sharpshoot. Every Friday on Before the Bell, which you can catch at noon, give or take, and I always say give or take, it's always give or take with me. Check out Before the Bell, my podcast. Like I said, every Friday, one hell of a show, the best show on YouTube. Not one of the best, the best damn show on YouTube. Trust me on that. Go check it out. But without further ado, if you're a fan of RopeBreakWrestling.com, but you don't tell your friends about it, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. You're being neglectful. That's not right. That's not cool. So this is what you got to do. You want to redeem yourself? You want to be a good friend? You want to know how to be a good friend? and you go
He's in the middle of his PSA and it freezes.
and you put my shitty internet trying to fuck me up right now. This is some absolute. I'm going over. I'm telling you right now. I'm going over to Time Warner Cable headquarters. I'm sticking a foot up their ass. I'm burning the building down. Just fucked up my monologue. I'm done. I quit. No, I don't quit. Alright, we're going to make this short and sweet. this is some bullshit. But anyway, made me lose my damn. I'm going to Time Warner Cable right now. Burn down their headquarters. Okay. So as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted by my shitty internet, if you got friends that don't know about Rope Break, it's because you're being neglectful. So you need to fix that. Bring them over to the Rope Break lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle you live in. If you're not living the Rope Break lifestyle, you're not really living, and that is a fact. Now, I understand you can go anywhere else you want to go. I get that. You can go to the bleachers. You can go cage side. You can go anywhere else you want to go if you want. But I promise you, there's no better place to be than in the ring with Rope Break. And that's not me being biased. I know what you're thinking. You run and you help operate Rope Break. You help start it. You're a founding father of RopeBreakWrestling.com. Of course you're going to talk up your own website. Well, that's true. Of course I am. But I talk it up because I truly believe in the brand. Because this is something that I've built, that Alec has built, that Aussie has built. Because we want it for the fans, by the fans. We truly believe that. We love what we're doing. And it's not me being biased. That, my friend, is a fact of life. And as I always say in the words of Tyson Kidd, fact.
Absolutely, 100% agree. This is what we do, guys. We're for the fans, by the fans. As you can see, we did our giveaway. And Jeremiah Golder, as I said before, you have until the end of Monday Night Raw to get us your information and which console you want the game for, so we can get that to you. Guys, it is time to end the show. We've been here way into overtime, but that's what we do here because we want to give you the best experience possible. You can't get it in the bleachers. You can't get it cage side. You can only get it here on Rope Break. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night right back here on our YouTube channel for React After Raw. Don't forget to tune in to the Sharpshoot live this Thursday at 7. Yeah, Aussie's going live with the Sharpshoot from now on to interact with you guys. And of course, as Matt said, tune in to Before the Bell on Fridays, noon-ish, give or take. That's right, guys. We got a whole slate of shows lined up for you every single week. That's what we do here. That's Rope Break. For everyone here at Rope Break, I'm Alec. That's Matt. Aussie was in the comments. Randy was in the comments. Raph was on the show. It was a big show. Someone won WWE 2K15. It was great. That's what we do because we're Rope Break. You make the rules, and we break them. Good night, everybody.